My hope when people watch this video is that they will see people for who they are, not what they look like, and not even what they think they should be based on what they look like, but that people would look at the complexity of people in general. My name is Jason Vaz, and I'm a video producer, editor, photographer, and storyteller with video and sound. Scott Lundeen asked me to accompany him on this road trip to help with production. And the thing that's really cool about what Urban Entry does is the production aligns with the things that I enjoy shooting and telling stories about, which are people and people doing life as believers. So this road trip with so many different cities and talking to so many different people of so many different cultures was really intriguing. Scott, and this is something my wife has told me, Scott is who he is when it comes to being around any race of people. It's neat to experience that, especially when you see Scott sitting and talking with a guy who just crumped, you know, and then be able to just talk to him and relate to him in a pastoral way. And I know that's, you know, where that comes from, is dealing with people, loving on people, but not being afraid to ask hard questions. So he doesn't necessarily feel apprehensive about being and asking truthful and honest questions that he would have that maybe people might want to know about. Some of the people that stood out in the trip were Mark down in New Mexico. He was very profound in a lot of things that he said and gave me a whole different perspective on his particular journey as a Native American, you know, living in America. Another person that really stood out was Flo in Pasadena. Ministry to her is every fiber of who she is. Other things that stood out, I think just the landscape, you know, of our country, southwestern part of the United States, and going through California and Northern California. I just love looking at landscapes and God's creation. One thing that I learned, I really got a sense that culture and cultural experiences defines, I think, who we are a whole lot more than necessarily what our race is. There are people who have the same skin color that I do, that have completely different cultural experiences, and that shapes who they are. So I think one of the challenging things for me was to recognize, even for myself, how much I do tend to stereotype. Just because people may look like me, they may not have the same experiences. Just like I grew up in a white neighborhood for half my life, and then a black neighborhood the other half, and my experiences are completely different. So I think the challenge is not to lump everybody together based on what they look like. If we can look at people and say, you know what, this is a person loved by God who has been given a unique experience in life, that we can learn from them, grow to love them, you know, like God loves them, because He's the one who's given them a unique experience. It was really cool to hang out with Scott and just to be able to trek across part of the country, learn about the things that he grew up doing and music he likes to listen to, and just the conversations we had. You know, it was neat. It was a lot of interesting and fun moments, and Scott's convenience store meditation on the floor. It was one of these 1 o'clock in the morning, possibly, I don't know how late it was, moments. But that was funny, just road trip stuff. When we looked at this journey and this road trip, and we saw that our road trip had a beginning and an end, it sparked in our minds, Scott and I, that this road trip really is a metaphor of relationships between people. Even though our journey had a beginning and it had an end, Our relationships with people is an ongoing and continuous journey. It doesn't have, an ending point. You're never going to arrive at your destination because, God continues to work on us. We continue to grow as people. So there's never going to be an ending point to learning about people, experiencing people's, triumphs and tragedies, and just growing together as people. It's never going to end. So that's kind of cool to see that through this road trip, being a metaphor of a relationship, that it kind of dawned on us towards the end of the trip that we're just like, wow, we didn't really even plan this, but this is really what this is all about when it comes to relationships with people of other ethnicities or other races. It's an ongoing journey. I love road trips. I just do. And this is one of the greatest experiences of my life.